It is week 15 of the NFL season, and I have 3 early bets that you guys should lock in as soon as possible, pretty much as soon as you're watching this. 3 early line shopping picks for this upcoming NFL betting slate. Before I can get into those picks, I do need to do a recap of how this past week went. Unfortunately, our hot streak came to an end. We headed in to this week with a 5-1 record in our past 2 weeks of doing this. We went 1-2 this past week. I had the Colts money line, not even close. Did not come through for us. I had the over in the Eagles versus Cowboys game. I thought that one was going to hit, but the Eagles kept fumbling right as they were about to score. Did not score an offensive touchdown. That game unfortunately went under, but I did get the Bills money line to cash at plus 135 odds. So nice plus money banger win there. But unfortunately, we end the slate down because of the 1-2 record. Let's hope that we can get things back for this week. As I mentioned, I have 3 picks for you guys to lock in, and let's get into it. Play number 1. This is for Thursday Night Football, Chargers-Raiders game. I'm just taking the total to go under 34, minus 110 odds at DraftKings. So included in these 3 picks, obviously, is going to be a play for Thursday Night Football. Obviously, it's a super, super low total, but for good reason. Let's analyze these 2 offenses. On one side of the ball, I feel like I'm introducing 2 fighters. On one side of the ball, we have the Raiders offense, who legitimately just got shut out by the Vikings. That's right, they did not score a single point in a game that they lost 3-0. That's brutal. According to DVOA, the Raiders have the 4th worst offense in the NFL, and they score the 5th fewest points per game in the NFL as well, tied with the Jets. My philosophy is, if you're tied with the Jets in pretty much any offensive category, that's very, very bad. That's never a good thing. That's the Raiders. On the Chargers side of the ball, they're coming off of a 3-week stretch in which they scored a combined 23 points. They scored 10 points 3 weeks ago against the Ravens. They scored 6 points against the Patriots 2 weeks ago. And last week, they scored 7 points against the Broncos. Now, keep in mind, 2 of those games were with Justin Herbert, who played and finished those games. Unfortunately, that will not be the case in this game, as the Chargers are going to be starting Easton Stick, as obviously Justin Herbert is out with a finger injury. So, for those of you counting at home, the 2 starting quarterbacks in this game are going to be Aiden O'Connell and Easton Stick. You gotta love primetime football. You gotta love it. We're all going to watch it anyways, so no complaining. I know there are those of you out there who took the under for the last Thursday Night Football game, which had a similarly very low total and got burned. But keep in mind, that game has nothing to do with this game. Just because last week's game went over does not mean that this week's game is also going to go over. And I think that there are a lot of reasons to believe that it is going to go under. So that is the play that we are locking in here. Chargers, Raiders, Thursday Night Football, under 34, minus 110 odds at DraftKings. Next up, Broncos versus Lions game. I'm taking the Lions minus 3.5, minus 120 odds at ESPN Bet. Now, I know that this is going to be a little bit scary for those of you watching because the Lions have not been good the past couple weeks. The Broncos have been on a little bit of a hot streak. So I'm not going to say that this play is without risk, but I will say that we're getting a really good price at minus 120 odds at ESPN Bet. That's the most important thing. The odds that you're getting are the most important thing. And this is a positive expected value play. I found this one on OddsJam. I do like it quite a bit, not just because it's positive EV, obviously that helps, but I like it looking into the matchup as well. Again, I'm not telling you that this is without risk. Jared Goff really hasn't been good the past month or so, but at least in this case, he is at home where on average he performs better. Now, he had a rough home game a couple weeks ago against the Packers, so it's not like he's lights out every single home game, but he is better on average at home. And looking at DVOA, the Lions are still the 7th best team in the NFL, according to DVOA, with the 7th best offense and the 12th best defense. So it's not like they have been terrible. And even if you look at weighted DVOA, now weighted DVOA, if you're asking what that is, it's exactly what it sounds like. It takes into account the previous results more heavily than at the beginning of the year. So yeah, whatever happened at the beginning of the year, if you want to say what happened in week 1, doesn't matter. Weighted DVOA weights the more recent weeks heavier. They're still ranked 8th in weighted DVOA. So there are reasons to believe that the Lions are going to get it together and that they haven't quite been as bad as the record has shown in this recent losing streak. Looking at the Broncos, yes, they have been better since that brutal start to the year. By the same metric, weighted DVOA, the Broncos are 12th, so much better than the bottom half, bottom third of the league that they were at the beginning of the year. Still not quite as good as the Lions. And if you look at weighted DVOA, or excuse me, weighted defensive DVOA, the Broncos are 15th. So everybody's telling you how much better the Broncos are after that 70-point debacle to the Lions, which is true. But don't let people tell you that the Broncos defense has been above average. They're exactly an average defense, even with weighted DVOA, not really taking into account that 70-point Dolphins game. So I think that the Lions are going to get it right this week, get back in the winning column, hopefully cover the 3.5-point spread for us. And then third up, our third and final pick of the video, in the Patriots versus Chiefs game, I'm actually taking an alternate market here. The Patriots team total under 13.5, minus 110 odds at Caesars. So I normally try to go with main lines here on these early line shopping picks, but I found such a good play that I really liked on an alternate market, so I decided to go with that. Basically, we're fading the Patriots offense, not expecting them to get the 2 touchdowns against the Chiefs. Yeah, the Patriots offense, the last time we saw them, showed some signs of life against the Steelers. Yeah, they're coming off of that victory. It really wasn't like their offense was that impressive. Now, I know that's obviously not a hot take. They scored 21 points, but keep in mind, all of those points were in the first half. They got shut out in the second half. And also keep in mind that one of those touchdowns was aided by a short field thanks to a Mitch Trubisky interception. That happens when you play Mitch Trubisky. Overall, in that game, the Patriots only had 303 yards of offense, which is terrible. And the majority of that came in the first half. So moving forward, I think what's more likely is what we saw in the second half as opposed to what we saw in the first half, especially because what we saw in the second half of that game is more in line with what we've seen from the Patriots basically this entire year. They're still the worst offense in the NFL when it comes to points per game at 13 points per game. And now they're facing a Chiefs defense that is allowing the third fewest points per game in the NFL as well. Prior to that Thursday night football game for the Patriots, they had scored single-digit points in 3 straight games and overall have done it in 5 games this year. Scoring, not even getting the double digits in 5 games is disgusting. All of those games were against really good defenses, which is the case here against the Chiefs. So I'm expecting similar results where the Patriots offense struggles, hopefully not getting to 14 points in this one, cashing our third and final pick of the video. And that's all I got. 3 picks for you guys to lock in. If you're riding with me, make sure to comment and let me know. Other than that, remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Appreciate everybody for watching, and have a good one.